Please be advised, viewer discretion is strongly recommended. None of the content presented in this video has been exaggerated or taken out of context. What you're about to hear is a narrated breakdown of today's courtroom proceedings in the federal trial of Sean Diddy Combs, including the jury's partial verdict and what that means for the Diddy case. The dramatic jury note revealing a deadlock on the most serious charge, the judge's delivery of a rare Allen charge, and the intense, often tense behind-the-scenes moments that played out in the courtroom while the jury was deliberating. This video is based on real-time reporting from courtroom journalist Inner City Press on X.com. Some language has been censored to comply with YouTube's community guidelines. All parties are presumed innocent until proven guilty. Watch and listen at your own discretion.
Ms. Comey, can we make sure that things that have been emailed in are put in the docket? I am adopting the government's answer to the drug distribution question.
Can we just put something on the record about sole possession? This definition of distribution would mislead the jury. But
hold on. Both sides agreed to this definition without objection. So, what is it?
1 second.
They are trying to mislead the jury.
They have been specific in their question, and so is this answer.
Your Honor, can you just mark our defense proposal as a court exhibit?
Yes.
Another note has just surfaced from the jury. Its content's still a mystery. It hasn't been read aloud in court, and Sean Combs remains absent, still held in the holding cell. Tension lingers in the air. For now, the courtroom buzzes quietly as attorneys drift across the floor. Combs' defense team, Shapiro, Driscoll, Steele, Agnifilo, and others, are clustered together, hunched over a laptop, their faces lit by the screen, scanning, whispering, bracing. At the back of the courtroom near the gallery, Agnifilo, Shapiro, Steele, and Westmoreland huddle in a tight circle, voices low, faces tense. Across the room, AUSA Comey leans in, speaking directly with Combs' attorney Xavier Donaldson, who sits poised at the center table. Then, movement. The door to the holding cell creaks halfway open. A U.S. Marshal peers out, silently checking. Is it time to bring Sean Combs back into the courtroom? 10:46 a.m. The tension sharpens as Sean Combs is escorted back into the courtroom. At his side, lead attorney Mark Agnifilo leans in, speaking with him in hushed tones. Just a few feet away, Shapiro and Westmoreland are locked in focus, working intently on something displayed across Shapiro's laptop screen, the glow of it casting sharp reflections across their faces. At 10:54 a.m., prosecutor Emily Johnson moves quietly across the courtroom, then hands a single piece of paper to Sean Combs' legal team. No words, just the faint rustle of paper and a subtle shift in the room's energy. Moments later, prosecutor Gerald Comey takes a seat beside Combs' attorney Xavier Donaldson, turning his laptop toward him. Whatever's on the screen, it's shared in silence. Just a brief, focused exchange kept deliberately out of public view.
We received a note from the jury asking for testimony of Cassandra Ventura as to the Intercontinental and Cannes incidents and the Daniel Phillip Essex Hotel incident. Daniel Phillip's testimony on that as well.
We have a disagreement.
First, let me know if either side minds me bringing the jury out and speaking to them.
We don't see a need.
I've conferred with Mr. Combs, and we don't see a need either.
As to any future note, let me know.
We have a disagreement about the redirect about the Cannes incident and the events immediately following. The answer was to what happened when Sean was angry. It referred to the freak off that occurred upon landing in NY.
I would likely cut it off sooner.
I have nothing to add.
We may need to speak with the court about the Intercontinent.
I understand there is an issue to resolve.
I understand that during the break, the defense came up with an issue about Daniel Phillip.
U.S. wants one more question and answer in than we do. It's his later thoughts.
The answer is about the Essex Hotel incident. On the Intercontinental Hotel incident, we think it's the day of and after, not the days before. That's our position. The defense wants to include Ms. Ventura's Instagram post of 2024.
We did include several messages from after the Intercontinental incident where they are talking about it. It's regarding the incident. It's important to weighing whether Mr. Combs coerced Ms. Ventura into commercial sex on that date.
The request was for Ms. Ventura's testimony regarding the Intercontinental incident. How does something from 2024 regard it more than things closer in time?
In 2024, she was responding to the video of the incident and also watching it here.
She was asked, "Do you recall posting on Instagram in May of 2024? She wrote that domestic violence is the issue, but that's not what the jury is asking about. We'd like more about the cans incident."
We think we should start with the first government exhibit about the intercontinental freak-off.
If we could get the laptop back, we could load a searchable PDF.
I agree some earlier and later messages should be given. What's left?
We'd like to include the photos she took of her injuries and the message from March 5th.
Ms. Garagos, don't those fall into the same category? What would be the objection?
I have to maintain my objection to the photos.
We do not think her testimony about her Instagram post is relevant. We think it's confusing, and
I think it can be included. Both sides have reviewed. We'll proceed on this basis.
After a long lull, now Combs, Agnifilo, Steele, and Shapiro are back in the courtroom. Prosecutor Gerald Comey walks forward and hands a piece of paper to Mark Agnifilo, who glances at it briefly before passing it down the line. On the defense bench, Matthew Driscoll leans in to quietly confer with Nicole Westmoreland. Still, Sean Combs remains in the holding cell. For now, Sean Combs is brought into the courtroom. He stands silently, hands tucked into his pockets, as Agnifilo speaks to him in a low voice. One by one, his lawyers gather around, forming a protective circle. After a quiet moment, Combs lowers himself into his seat. Sean Combs is sitting surrounded by his 8 lawyers, who are talking and strategizing. He is looking down, his hands crossed on his lap. Combs begins rubbing his eyes. The fatigue is visible now. His team continues to talk, with Westmoreland leaning in to speak with Xavier Donaldson, the rhythm of the defense team continuing around him. Agnifilo steps forward briefly, then returns and hands Combs the same piece of paper passed earlier. This time, Combs stares at it, expression unreadable. After a brief exchange with Agnifilo, Combs looks back down. Slowly, he rests his head in his right hand. The courtroom doesn't move. It doesn't have to. Everything is already in motion. And then, it happens the judge receives a note from the jury regarding the verdict.
We have received a note at 4:05 p.m. today. It reads, "We have reached a verdict on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5. We are unable to reach a verdict on count 1 as we have jurors on each side. How should we respond?"
So here's what just happened in court. At 4:05 p.m., the judge received a note from the jury. It said they had reached a verdict on counts 2, 3, 4, and 5, but that they were unable to come to a unanimous decision on count 1, the racketeering charge. The note even said there were jurors on each side, meaning they're split and can't agree. Now, count 1 is the most serious charge in this entire trial. It's the racketeering conspiracy, basically accusing Diddy of running a criminal enterprise. If he were to be found guilty on that, it could carry a life sentence. So when the judge read that note out loud in court, he had to decide what to do next. This is the most critical point in the trial so far. A guilty verdict on count 1 would change everything.
We are preparing a modified Allen charge.
An Allen charge is a special instruction a judge gives to a jury when they say they're deadlocked and can't agree on a verdict. In short, the judge tells them, "Go back, keep deliberating, and try to reach a unanimous decision, but don't give up your honest beliefs just to reach a verdict." It's basically a last push to avoid a mistrial.
We proposed you tell them to continue deliberating and that you not take the partial verdict. No modified Allen charge.
Would the defense request I bring the jury out to say that?
Yes.
Okay, email me your proposals, each side. I'll wait. I could give a modified Allen charge, or at some point I could tell them they could return a partial verdict. Email me. I'll wait.
In the well of the courtroom, everyone is in their seat, except Donaldson. The room is still, charged with quiet tension. Sean Combs leans back in his chair, arms crossed, eyes fixed ahead. His expression says it all. He does not look happy.
I received each side's proposal. Mr. Agnifilo, your proposal. There is not much there.
We are not remotely at the place where the jury needs more to deliberate efficiently. They are remarkably efficient. They already have 4 verdicts.
I wouldn't call the government's proposal an Allen charge. It reminds the jury of the instruction I previously gave on the duty to deliberate. I could simply recite from the jury charge.
We're not at the point yet. I'm not saying we wouldn't be at the point on Thursday, July 3rd or Monday. Let's wait and see. I'm putting stock in that they have reached verdicts on 4 counts.
I'm going with that, but I may give more later. I could tell them that they could return on July 3rd. We could arrange that. What do the parties think?
We'd like to give them the option to deliberate on the 3rd.
1 second, Your Honor.
Yes.
Our preference is that you don't tell them now about Thursday. The downside is that the jurors might feel rushed to reach a verdict to avoid the Thursday issue. Let them deliberate tomorrow. You could ask at the end of tomorrow.
So, the defense would have no objection to them deliberating on July 3rd?
No objection if they want to.
Okay, let's bring back out our jury.
At this point, the jurors enter the courtroom.
Welcome back. I received your note that you have reached verdicts on counts 2 through 5. I ask you to continue deliberating. Discuss and weigh your respective opinions dispassionately and follow my instructions on the law. I ask you to return to the jury room. If you decide you are done for the day, send me another note and I'll bring you back out to end the day.
After that, the jurors leave.
Everyone can go back to doing what they were doing. We have received a note that the jurors have concluded for today and will resume tomorrow. We'll bring them back out.
And that was everything for today in court. From jury notes to silent stares and a judge pushing deliberations forward, the tension is only building. The verdict is coming, and when it does, you'll hear it here first. Make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop a comment below, because this trial is far from over.